Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is a Tuesday night, the 11th of February, for episode 169 of So What's Been Happening. We get to chat to Skyscraper Stan again tonight. We had him on not too long ago. It was, in actual fact, it was 3 months ago. So time ticks along very quickly, but only kind of 10 or so episodes in amongst where we were in the podcast. Podcast has had a little bit of a break over Christmas. Thank you for allowing me to refresh, which was quite nice. Got along to plenty of gigs over Christmas and had a little wind up. But now all of a sudden we're back into February and it is very, very close to that magical date on the calendar we all call Valentine's Day. Good for some, trouble for others, wasted money for many. But who knows? You got to be in it to win it, they say. So please get out there. And I'm going to urge you tonight to do something a little different on Valentine's Day. Give away the flowers, give away the chocolates, give away all those I shouldn't say that. They're not tokenistic. They are gifts that are well earned, deserved, respected, but do something different. I urge you to jump on a artist that you like or someone you don't know. I'm going to put a list of artists that you should get along and see, and please buy a ticket or go along to a free gig and support a venue and support an artist. Buy a CD, buy a t-shirt, do something different. Take a friend, take that special someone, male, female, friend, parent, brother, sister, anyone, get someone along, take a few people and a big Valentine's Day special party along that whole weekend. There's so much on. And we're going to tell you a little bit about some of those gigs. But tonight, it's all about Skyscraper Stan. It's still a mouthful, a tongue twister to get my head around. But I get to have a chat to Stan about his new album, which is almost ready to hit the stage, which is fantastic. Let's bring him up for a chat. It is time. Welcome back, Mr. Skyscraper Stan. Stan Woodhouse. It's awesome to have you back, mate.
It's great to be back.
It's a special time in the calendar. Valentine's Day is very near. Now, I believe this was totally unplanned that it drops Valentine's Day, but timely, you should say.
Yeah, I don't know how we ended up on the Valentine's launch day for the label, but I'm grateful because it's been an excellent talking point. There are a couple of romantic songs on the record. I wouldn't say it's overly romantic. It's not overtly romantic, but you know, we got the 14th of February, and I'm not sad about it.
As you shouldn't be. We're going to recap 4 or 5 of the songs tonight and talk a little bit about what else we can expect on the album. We did have a little catch up not long ago, so we went a little bit more in depth in as far as the recording process and a few things for yourself. So we're just going to recap a few things tonight, but we're also going to touch on a couple of upcoming gigs. And most importantly, this weekend, Riverboats Festival. It is one on the calendar that you must see. I haven't made one of these and I'm a little embarrassed about it, but I must make sure I get up and see one of these shortly. So 14th kicks off Valentine's Day to the 16th. So what a perfect way to jump in the car, take that someone special up to Echuca Moama, and most importantly, get to see Skyscraper Stan do his thing. Here it is. It is and it's on the Saturday, which is an awesome way to open the day. 12:30. It's going to be a warm one. The gates open, but what a way Friday night to kick off with the Pleasures, Southern River Band and Ian Moss. Oh, geez, what a magical Friday night to kick us off.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And the band and I we've booked ourselves extra accommodation. We're all going up and staying in some cabins at the Echuca Moama Caravan Park. And we're going to be there for the Friday. We're just going to enjoy ourselves. Then we're the first cab off the rank on the Saturday. So following that, we'll probably enjoy ourselves. And then, as we should. And that'll be our first, the album comes out on the Friday. So that'll be the first time it's available at a show.
Very exciting. Please ensure that that's one of the non-forgotten items in the queue, that makes sure that box or a couple of boxes.
Already sent it. They've already got it.
Perfect.
It's already up there. I knew I would forget it, so I sent it well ahead of time. It's been up there for a week already.
Well played. And I finally got myself a Skyscraper Stan tee as well. So
I see that. That's excellent.
Get out there and represent. So, and that was after one of your shows I saw. Where was it? It was at.
Was that the Bergie Band Room?
It was the Bergie Band Room. Massive night. Great night with quality used cars as well. Supporting. It was all about cars that night. And Al McCott, we can't forget Al opening the show. Is three of my favorites, which was a perfect night for me to fly solo with no other people around me and just kind of zero in and enjoy the show. So it was one of those special ones. Thanks, Dan.
It was a good night.
And one more coming up, March 6th, the new kind of concept at the Brunswick Ballroom, the dinner and showcase. Just tell us a little bit about how this one came about. And obviously you put your name up in lights there with a few other great acts as well.
So Good Booking is just a little booking agency that recently opened up their books here in Naarm, Melbourne. They just sort of kicked off booking up local acts. They got a couple of acts from Sydney as well on the roster. And it's great because I've got heaps of mates, old and new, all on the roster now. And Leash, who runs the agency, just decided it was time for a showcase. And where better to have a dinner and a showcase than the Brunswick Ballroom with its grand stage, velvet curtains. Perfect.
Yep. Makes absolute perfect sense. What a match made in heaven, as they say. It's not easy juggling and putting together a lineup for a festival, let alone a small show these days. So thank you to everyone that goes out on a limb. Let's face it, as you go and put together shows and get lineups and try and advertise and pay bands and do all those things. Thank you for doing everything you do, including our favourite Chris Familton, who does an incredible job pushing so many bands and artists to me as well. So thanks, Famo, and all the best for this year. All right, mate, we're going to kick off with Talk to Me. We're going to play a little bit from the clip. I won't play the whole lot in this track, but I'm going to leave you hanging a little bit. Here we go with Talk to Me.
You've been playing my mind to every broken soul in town. You say you want to rise up, but the man would cut you down. And you've been doing your research, digging through the underground, and now something's got you worried. 'Cause when I come around, you start begging me to wake up, telling me I'm blind. So how come I can see you straight up losing your mind? Now here we are, this Sunday morning at your house. I've smoked a little more than I'm used to, and while I melt into the couch, you start begging me to wake up and telling me I'm blind. So how come I can see you straight up losing your mind? Talk to me, baby, untie your tongue, set it free. I said, please talk to me, baby, just find your words and speak.
There you go. Talk to Me. It's a great one. So catchy tune. Great lyrics. It's the perfect Valentine's Day lead-in.
Yeah, it's one of the sort of boppier numbers on the record for sure. It's got a summertime feeling to it, I think, that track.
Yeah, I think that will go down very nicely at Riverboats for sure.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah. All right, mate. We're going to move to Let Me Be Frank With You.
All right, less summertime, this one. This is the winter track.
There you go. We switched very quickly. Here we go
Yeah.
with Let Me Be Frank With You.
Winter is endless in this Victorian town, but cold nights don't chill me like the rumors that are going round. They start with a whisper and end in a shout. If I were any better, I would step in to defend you, but I've got myself to worry about. 'Cause nothing is sacred down here in the pit, where everyone's wasted, out in the smoke and sinking piss and talking shit. They don't care about you. Hey brother, let me be frank with you. They don't care about you. They don't love you the way that you think they do. They don't care about you. Take it easy, it's just my point of view. You know they're just no good. They'd sell you for scrap if they could, if I'm being frank with you. You live in an icebox behind the stockade. I heard that you came unstuck. I heard you're on a strange crusade. Yeah, I've heard a few things that I'd like to forget. I've heard there's a whole lot worse, and I just haven't heard it yet. 'Cause nothing is sacred down here in the pit, where everyone's wasted, out in the smoke is sinking piss and talking shit. They don't care about you. Hey brother, let me be frank with you. They don't care about you. They don't love you the way that you think they do. They don't care about you. Take it easy, it's just my point of view. You know they're just no good. They'd sell you for scrap if they could, if I'm being frank with you.
Ain't that the truth? They'll sell you for scrap if they could. It's a great line. And there's plenty of great lines in amongst that. I love the way on that clip that the lyrics come up and they really be part of that that film clip. So another great one. I think there's 4 killer film clips personally, probably 4 of your best, mate, that I've seen over time.
Oh,
so
thank you.
they're really well done. Obviously, there's a diverse arrangement of people that have kind of helped put some of these together, and it's just a really important part of music still, the arts component.
Community.
Yep.
Like it's kind of all we've got left now. And it's the one thing they can never take away, Aaron. It's the one
Very
thing
true.
they can never take away is that community. Thank goodness, because nothing would ever get done without it.
And that full artistic spirit. I mean, you've welcomed everyone in there, you know, from videographers, you know, handwritten lyrics and all sorts of things. So it's a really beautiful way that you've helped support that entire arts community, mate. So well done.
Oh, cheers.
All right. Strange things happen. I think if we remember correctly, the last chat we had was pretty close to Halloween, and we dropped this clip, which was really weirdly timed as well. So we're going to touch on strange things happen. Here we go.
Alone in my room, time, strange things happen to me. Every time, strange things happen. I'm telling myself I'm doing well, lying in the dark on my unmade bed. I need to get out and spread myself around. Maybe when I see you now, I'll keep my head. But every time, strange things happen to me. Every time, strange things happen.
That is a hard one to cut short because it's such a great clip. No, that must have been fun. But your cousin Oscar plays an absolute starring role in that one, and it's just tell us a little bit about the fun of that clip.
The fun of that clip. It's just the Oscar and I have always just been really into zombie movies, and we've always wanted to make one. And then we just decided we were going to make one for this album, whether or not there was an appropriate song. So we chose probably the most inappropriate song for a zombie film, because I guess there was a challenge in that, and it was going to be good fun. And it was that was like my directorial debut. So it's like I got everyone together. Our really good mate, Sean Kirkwood, who also took the photo for the album cover, which I can see is behind you over there. Yep. He was the cinematographer for that. He came down, shot the whole thing. We had a couple of makeup artists come in, and I had such a comprehensive schedule written for the shoot because I hadn't had to wrangle a shoot before. I was so militant about our times that we ended up finishing like an hour and a half ahead of schedule, which I think is the only time I've ever actually done something in less time than it was supposed to take.
Yeah, it's really cool. And what an apt title, Strange Things Happened. Well, strangest thing happened was that clip. Totally not what anyone would expect if they listen along to the song and then all of a sudden stumble over the clip. So that's going to be an interesting one for people to find over time. It's low down the track list on the album, track 9 out of 10. So it sits low. Is it one, how hard is it to determine a track list and how that looks on an album? 10 tracks, what goes where? This is always a debated question, but how did this one work with you and the band?
This one was, the track lineup was challenging this time around. I think we've found it challenging with every record, and it's like, I'm sure you can understand why that would be when you eat, like, even with the tracks that we've listened to now, it's like we started with a sort of like Staxy Motown kind of soul vibe, and then we were in this sort of like angry sort of regional Victorian Neil Young and Crazy Horse angst moment, and then we had some 60s pop kind of inspired stuff, and then the rest of the record continues bouncing around like that. So there's not necessarily a natural movement. It's like we've always been a relatively eclectic band. Like we bounce around. It sounds like us at all times, but we will have quite a variety of sort of styles of songwriting and things in any given record. So writing a track listing can be really hard.
Yep, I bet. But it's great. It kicks off with Talk to Me, which is really nice. And then we get a couple of nice little surprises in there with the tracks that kind of haven't been released yet. So maybe you can just give us an insight or an insight into one of the tracks that we kind of haven't hit so far, whether it be one of the other ones that haven't been hit yet, like maybe Pauline. Tell us a little bit about Pauline.
Pauline is I reckon it's one of my favorites on the record.
Yep.
It's got a nice little movement through it. We've got one moment as well in the chorus where we've got Andy Lloyd Russell, our drummer, just really like laying down that sort of Toto-esque shuffle. It's like our sort of like 80s rock moment like comes in that song. So
Absolutely.
That's really enjoyable. And it's a song about loving someone even though they are mean. Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward song, that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
We've loaded up the we've peppered the political tracks through the album, and so then it's like, you got to break them up with some love songs.
Yeah, some tough love.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't say that it's a joyful love song. There's nothing jubilant about it.
Yes, well, as it should be. They can't all be soppy love songs. They played the Skyscraper Stan way, which is nice and strong and bold, and it's the way it should be, like the band. The band's an incredible show, mate. I must touch on, if anyone hasn't seen the full lineup, you can't miss Stan, obviously, on stage as a solo performer, but when he gets that whole band together, actually quite a relatively tall band in there, in yourself throwing Oscar in the other boys, but it's a big.
I don't think anyone's under 6 foot, actually.
It's one of the larger or taller band lineups around these days, but it's fantastic to see, that's for sure. You definitely don't make a guitar look large in your stature. You can't miss it. But mate, thanks again for everything you're doing for music. It's an exciting time to put out tracks. We're going to finish with 21st Century Lullaby. We're probably going to play out that whole track if you don't mind finishing there. But in the meantime, we're also going to touch on what must happen in the next few days. And we talk about pre-orders and where to get it. There's the album cover. It's a beautiful shot, mate. Nice statuesque picture of power there. Make sure you jump on and get pre-orders done. If not, there's limited edition, which is really cool, with transparent vinyl. That's a real special. And a big announcement in the last 24 hours is the prayers have been answered for some people, and we're going old school. We're hitting CDs again. It's really cool. Thanks to Cheer Squad putting out a limited edition of
edition CDs. I put out a little poll. I asked the fans on the World Wide Web, does anybody want a CD? Because I'd had some people hit me up and say, like, are you not doing CDs? And I said, that's so like 90s. Like, why would we do CDs? But, people play them in their cars, and some people say they sound better, and I'm not here to yuck someone's yum. If you want a CD, we'll get you a CD. So we listened, and Cheer Squad very kindly made a run of CDs.
Guaranteed, we'll take your cash. So well done. Answer the prayers, mate. Answer the prayers of the people. So well done.
Selflessly answering the prayers of the people.
Yeah. Most importantly, mate, we wish you all the best. This is a really exciting time, as any is, to bring out music. But finally, 10 tracks of your baby finally gets pushed out into the world. It's super exciting to hit the charts. We're going to share the hell out of it, as I really urge everyone that's playing this music and been so good. Maybe a quick couple of shout out thank yous, Stan, and maybe it's just the wider community for supporting the albums and songs you put out so far. But have you got anything to say to the people, mate, before we wrap up?
Well, without you, the people, what would I even be doing? What would any of us be doing? It's been wonderful to see recently. Like, I played a show at the retreat. It was 38 degrees. I was in the beer garden. I was by myself singing stupid songs for 2 hours, and like 100 of you showed up to sweat with me in the beer garden, and just this wonderful appetite for a good time and for a yarn, and just it's that community, like absolutely everybody around, all of the graphic artists, the photographers, the bar people, absolutely everyone involved in this. What a joy. What a way to spend one's life.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. We urge everyone for Valentine's Day and this weekend, get out and see a band. That's what I urge you to do. Please also jump on skyscraperstan.com.au. Check it out. Check out the other stuff. Share the hell out of it. Tell some mates. Buy a couple of copies. Share them around. And then we're going to finish on one of the last tracks, which is actually, beautifully enough, the last track on the album. So let's play this out, and we wish you all the best, mate. Enjoy Riverboats. We can't wait to hear how it went. Some nice surprises in there and amongst Riverboats as well. So get out and stay for the whole event and catch up with Stan and get a photo and get it on social media to pump the new album.
Yeah.
We'll chat soon, Stan. Thanks for everything.
Cheers, Aaron. Thanks for having me on.
All right, here we go with 21st Century Lullaby, the full edition. See you out there soon.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey baby, oh what a world you're gonna see. Joyrides in flying cars, holidays on Mars, coral in the Arctic Sea. Hey baby, what a world you're gonna see. And baby, you'll want some answers out of me. Like, did I do a thing when we had the chance to bring an end to this catastrophe? Hey baby, you'll want some answers out of me. Like, was it out of evil? Was the truth denied? Was it all for money? Was it all for pride? Yes, child, there was evil and foolish pride. But all for money was truth denied. Today is a crazy place to be, but love makes little sense and blind to consequence. It's watering this family tree. Hey baby, what a world you're gonna, what a world you're gonna, what a world you're gonna see.